Ban the beauty industry bullies. Ilara lived for the art of the transformation. Every morning, she meticulously organized her station at the Gilded Mirror, ensuring her shears were sharp and her palettes were pristine. She loved the way a perfect highlight could make a client stand taller. But lately, the air in the salon felt heavy, thick with a tension that no amount of peppermint oil could mask. The source of the heaviness was Regina, the salon's most senior stylist. Regina moved through the floor like a storm cloud, casting shadows over the younger staff. She didn't just lead, she ruled. Her talent was undeniable, but she used her status as a weapon rather than a guide, gatekeeping techniques and hoarding the best clients through subtle manipulation. Regina's favorite tactic was the public critique. Today, she marched over to Ilara's station while a client was in the chair. Regina peered into Ilara's mixing bowl and let out a sharp, performative sigh. "This formula is amateur, darling." "You're going to turn her hair the color of a penny," she announced loudly enough for everyone to hear. Ilara felt the heat rise to her cheeks as her professional confidence withered. By the afternoon break, Ilara sat alone in the dim back room. The joy of her craft was being replaced by a nagging dread. She thought about the ethics she had been taught in school: respect, integrity, and community. She wondered if the real world of beauty was simply meant to be a battlefield where the loudest voice won. The breaking point came when Ilara saw Regina cornering Amity, the new salon assistant. Amity was small and soft-spoken, still learning the rhythm of the floor. Regina was berating her for a smudge on the mirror, her voice a low, venomous hiss. "If you can't handle a squeegee, you'll never handle a blade," Regina sneered. Amity's eyes were brimming with tears. Ilara realized that staying silent was a choice, and it wasn't the one she wanted to live with. She pulled Amity aside into the supply closet, away from the biting words. "You are doing a great job, Amity," Ilara whispered, handing her a tissue. "Her behavior is about her own insecurity, not your worth. We are stylists, not soldiers, and this isn't a war." The next morning, during the mandatory staff meeting, Ilara didn't wait for Regina to start her usual round of constructive criticism. She stood up, her heart hammering against her ribs like a trapped bird. "Regina," she said, her voice clear and steady, "we need to talk about the culture we're creating here. Professionalism isn't just about the hair. It's about how we treat the people behind it." Regina's face reddened. She tried to laugh it off, gesturing to the room as if Ilara were being dramatic. "Oh, don't be so sensitive, Ilara. It's a high-pressure environment. If you can't take the heat, perhaps you're in the wrong kitchen." She stood up, trying to regain her physical dominance over the conversation. But Ilara didn't back down. Bullying isn't a byproduct of pressure. It's a choice. And it stops today. To Ilara's surprise, Amity stood up too. Then, another stylist, and another. They didn't shout. They simply stood in solidarity. The power Regina had built through fear began to evaporate as the room collectively chose a new standard of ethics. The Gilded Mirror changed after that. It didn't happen overnight, but the shadows lifted. Regina eventually left for a salon that better suited her competitive nature, and Ilara became the mentor she had always wished for. The salon was finally a sanctuary again, a place where the only things being cut were split ends, and the only thing being built was confidence.